𝗠cie 𝗲𝗏 Hello friends, 𝗠cie Moe Clark. My name is Moe Clark. Nia oma apitawi gosisan 𝗠cie 𝗲𝗏 𝗖𝗹𝗿𝗸 𝘮𝘮𝘠𝘮. I am a Métis artist, a two-spirit artist, originally from the west of Canada, in a land where glaciers cover the tops of mountains and they melt and they become the Bow River and the Elbow River. So I was born in a territory called 𝗠cie𝗲 𝗖𝗹𝗿𝗸, which translates to mean at the elbow in Calgary, Alberta. But I'm currently living in 𝗠cie𝗲 in Montreal, Quebec, on the unceded territory of the 𝗍𝗠nye people, the Mohawk people. And so, as is customary in our culture, for indigenous people, we acknowledge the land where we are, and we thank the people who are the protectors of that land, and we thank the trees and the winds and the animals and the waters and the stones and all of the beauty that is growing and blossoming around us. There's lots of flowers now that it's officially spring and the sun comes out every morning and those birds start singing their song. So I've been asked to share with you a little bit of my what I do and some of my tools that I use. So I'm a vocalist, I love to sing, and I love to write poetry, and I love to connect with elders and youth. So a lot of intergenerational exchange, like telling stories with grandma and grandpas, and also telling stories with young people like yourself. And so I wanted to share with you one of the tools that I use. It's called a looping pedal. I'm going to give you a little glimpse of it. And so this looping pedal is a device that I use, and it's got 5 channels. So each of these buttons, it allows me to record my voice, and once I record my voice, it repeats it. And you know, we can think about where the tools come from that we use in our day-to-day lives. Like, where does the water come from that we drink when we get up in the morning, or when we take a bath or shower, or when we flush the toilet? Also, when we use our computers, where does that electricity come from? And so I like to think about this looping pedal and think about any technology that I'm using to connect with, and even more so these days, as having a relationship to the hydroelectric dams that are up in James Bay in Cree territory up in northern Quebec. And what they do is they put all the water, they collect all the water, and then it builds up a tension, and that water pushes against this wall, and through that pushing action we get electricity. And so how this machine is working here today is through that electricity. But what I like to do before I start to play and before I start to use these tools is I take my sweetgrass. Can anyone guess whose hair this is? Doesn't look like the same color of hair of me. This is the hair of Mother Earth. And so this grows as a long grass. And so people go, and we're getting close to that time of year where we go and we gather medicines. And so we thank Mother Earth, we thank the land for allowing us to pick medicines, to pick the plants and the flowers and the grasses. And then we use it as a smudge, is what we call it. And so we take our match and we burn that medicine, and it's actually the smoke that brings us the healing. So in the same way you might take a shower or a bath, we use this smoke. And we breathe the smoke in, and we think about our minds, we think about our hearts, we think about our physical bodies, and our emotions and our spirits. We think about the fact that we are 4-bodied people. So in Nehio tradition and Cree worldview, we have 4 bodies: a mind, a spirit, a physical body, and an emotional body. And so we use this smoke as a way to also acknowledge the life energy. So I use it with my 𝘮𝗿𝗿𝗏, my drum as well, and I thank the animal and I thank the elk that this drum comes from and the tree. And I use it to smudge my drum mallet as well that one of my friends made me. And so I smudge my body and then I smudge the bodies of these other instruments. So I wanted to share with you a little bit of the looping pedal and how that works. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a loop. And this is what I do when I'm working and performing and touring. So normally I like to take airplanes and trains and drive places and go explore the world, and I get to meet people who speak all sorts of different languages. How many languages do you speak? I'm curious to know. How many of you speak English? Hopefully every one of you, otherwise I'm not making any sense. Maybe some of you speak French. Maybe some of you speak Spanish or Portuguese or Italian or maybe Arabic or Greek or maybe Creole or maybe an indigenous language. So for me, because I'm Métis, because I'm part Cree, I'm learning that language, and so that's been part of my journey to discover more about myself and to connect more with this land. And so I'm gonna play some of this looping pedal now. So whatever sound I put into this mic, it's gonna go into the looping pedal and it's gonna record. So here we go. So now it's going and it just repeats and repeats. So it takes all those voices and it blends them together, and I can bring up and bring out different voices whenever I want. And then I've got this other pedal over here which does crazy things. This other cool pedal over here, which is called a space pedal. And when I use that pedal, it puts things into outer space. Here we go. There we go. So that's a little bit of what I do. My name is Moe, and I have music and poetry online. Not everything I do is this experimental and kind of out there, but it's fun to just let whatever the song is come through us and come out of us. And so that's what I've done today. I've just explored whatever sounds and whatever songs want to be part of this moment, this exchange with you all. And I invite you to do the same thing wherever you are. And it might be just hanging out in your room, it might be walking through the house, or maybe it's going out and finding your favorite tree or a patch of dandelions and finding a song that you can sing to them as a way to say thank you for being alive. So nananaskumun, I am grateful. I am grateful for pimatisuin, for this life. I am grateful for wagutawin, for all my family and friends. And I am grateful for nigamowina, for songs. So thank you. Hi, hi.